There are over 1 billion people on Earth suffering with obesity. 390 million children and adolescents are overweight. 37 million kids under 5 are overweight. The number of young people with obesity has quadrupled since 1990. And obesity is now a greater risk to world health than even hunger. We have a problem. Who is setting the example for these kids? Unfortunately, this state of affairs has been normalized, and we often forget the effects that obesity has on people. Diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, congestive heart failure, kidney disease, and even cancers. Diseases you wouldn't wish on anyone. These diseases and more are likely to be the fate of 1 billion people worldwide. We as parents and elders are doing something very wrong. Our kids are looking to us because we are the example that they will follow. We must make better choices and create a healthier relationship with food so that they will too. We know what we're supposed to do, but we're just not doing it. It's time for us to do better. It's time to eat like an adult. I'm Coach Josh Wood, founder of Strong for Life online coaching, and for over 12 years, I have been helping people get fit, strong, and capable so they can undertake all of life's adventures. From working one-on-one as a coach, to teaching health and fitness in the classroom, to leading groups as a wilderness guide, for a long time, I have looked at how our relationship to food can direct our outcomes and shape our future, which is why I want you to eat like an adult. See, as humans, we learn best through observation and imitation. As we're growing up, we look to the adults in our lives, and we mimic their behaviors under the assumption that those are the ones that we need to be successful in life. This ripple effect is what shapes the futures of our families and our communities. For example, my interest in the nutritive value of foods comes from my mom. She's a dietitian, and that's one of the reasons that I'm standing here today. Thanks, Mom. We, as parents, have a responsibility to provide an example so that our kids can grow up strong and vibrant. Unfortunately, our own poor childhood habits and teenage rebellion influences our behavior as adults. But luckily, you have a choice. You always have a choice. Those of you with kids have probably had this experience where you try to get them to do something or eat something, and you tell them, it's good for you. But they stare you dead in the eye and say, I don't want that. How do you argue with that? But it's our job to help them do what is best for them so they can grow up healthy, strong, and capable. But who's helping us with that now? Who is helping us make grown-up choices? Well, growing up is a decision. Do you want good health? What about strength, vitality? How about active golden years? Then you have to make the decisions that lead to those outcomes. You have to make adult decisions. You have to eat like an adult, and not just for yourself, but for those who depend on you. So how does an adult eat? An adult understands that their future is shaped by the decisions they make today. An adult knows you can't just feed your feelings. You have to make a choice to do what you know is best. Because doing anything else will lead to disappointment and ill health. Eating like an adult means making mindful decisions and taking ownership of the outcomes. And to do this, we need to bring mindfulness to the table. Now, if you've made a decision right here and now, because I'm putting you on the spot, to eat like an adult and revamp your relationship to food to one that fuels you for the life you want to live, then I want to give you 6 simple habits that can help you bring mindfulness to your food choices. Habit 1, the apple test. If you find yourself digging in the pantry or ferreting in your desk drawer at work, looking for that little bit of junk food, that little bit of something in a package, stop. Stop and ask yourself, am I really hungry? If Coach Josh was to magically show up in your office with a ripe, red, beautiful Tasmanian apple, the best apples in the world, would you eat it? If you're hungry, and assuming you like apples, if you're hungry, you would. So eat an apple. But if you wouldn't, and you just want that little hit of sugar, that little bit of packaged junk from the desk drawer, then you're probably not even hungry. You're probably having a craving related to something else in your life. Maybe your body's telling you you're dehydrated. Maybe you just need to drink a bit more water. Maybe you're tired or stressed, or you could actually be lacking important nutrients. But stopping and deciding if you're hungry is the first step to creating a healthier relationship with food. Habit 2, choose better. If you are trying to actively improve your health, you can eat whatever you want. You just can't eat it whenever you want. We are choosing better when we learn to downsize or delay treats and choose higher protein options first. If you have the choice, if you're thirsty and you have the choice between a large sugary drink and a small sugary drink, get the small one and drink more water after if you're actually thirsty. When we choose better, we still get to enjoy the things that we enjoy in our daily lives, but you can still stay on track with your health goals. Habit 3, don't eat your emotions. I know, easier said than done. But find a healthy outlet for your emotions, something that is productive and won't sabotage your hard-earned health. Because when we make emotional food choices now, we are making it much harder to regulate our mood in the long run. And if you're using food or alcohol to manage how you're feeling, then it's time to look into why you're feeling that way in the first place and work on developing healthier coping mechanisms. Also, apparently we're having donuts this afternoon. Number 4, treats are treats. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, a treat is a special and enjoyable occasion or experience, often a reward or a celebration. It's not a treat if you have it all the time. If you're treating yourself to some junk every day at the same time, or the same time each week, that's not a treat. That's your diet. Remember to keep treats special, not habitual. Number 5, good enough. Good enough is good enough. If you're out to eat and you're trying to find something healthy on the menu, don't give up on your health goals just because there isn't a perfect option. Just find something that's high-ish in protein so you're getting some essential nutrients, but get something good enough rather than throwing everything out the window. If I were to offer you a plate with a portion of your favorite protein, a bit of meat or something, a small side salad, and a dinner roll, most people would go, all right, it's pretty good. It's fine, it's good enough. Well, if you stack that on top of each other, that's just a hamburger. And you can get those everywhere. And it's usually good enough. Just go easy on the sides. And your sixth habit, mistakes happen. Mistakes will always happen. And mistakes are related directly to our goals and the outcomes that we want. Be sure to learn from them. Now, every once in a while, I'll get a message from a client, and new clients usually do a food journal. I'll get a message and they'll say, hey, heads up, I had a social engagement on the weekend, and that's why I had to eat a whole pizza. And I always respond with the same question. Can you just count out and let me know how many slices of pizza it takes to be a social event? They usually get the idea. But if you're actively working on improving your health, or maybe just trying to lose a bit of weight, and you're out at a kid's birthday party, eating a slice of cake does not mean you've fallen off the wagon. But if you use that as an excuse to throw all sense out the window and eat a whole cake, that's a mistake. It's a mistake because it is actively counter to what you're trying to achieve. See any mistake as a speed bump. Stay focused on your goals and learn from them. So that way next time you will do better. The key feature to eating like an adult is making mindful decisions and taking ownership of the outcome, as well as learning from your mistakes. Now, these are 6 simple actions that you can take to help control your future, your relationship to food, and the kind of example that you want to set for your children and those who look up to you. Every time you think of one of these habits, the apple test, or not eating your emotions, or treats are treats, every time you think of one, you're breaking the feeding circuit and introducing mindfulness to your food choices. This allows you to make a conscious decision and break old habits. That's what it's all about. Conscious decision and breaking old habits. I do hope that you understand how dire this situation is, how dire this problem is, and how we each play a role in the solution. We are not islands. What we do and how we act around food has the power to change the future and show the next generation how to fuel themselves for the lives they want to live. Now, if this talk made you feel defensive, then it's probably what you need to hear. I want you to take that feeling and dig into it and ask yourself why you might be feeling that way. And if you need to, come speak to me later. But ultimately, I want you to live a life that is vibrant and nourished and deliberate. And to have that life, to have that future, you must understand you will always have decisions to make. And an adult makes the decisions that lead to the greatest benefit as often as possible. And if that's not something that you can do for yourself, then do it for those who are learning from you. Thank you.